By the turn of the 20th century, around the time researchers discovered that sunlight stimulated the production of vitamin D, 80% of children living in Northern Europe and Northeast United States were afflicted with this bone-deforming disease. Soon we learned to treat rectums and many other diseases by exposing patients to sunlight on rooftop solaria. Heliotherapy quickly became the standard treatment for diseases such as rickets, tuberculosis, and psoriasis. It worked. We just didn't know why. The modern-day use of sunlight as a source of healing was soon pushed aside with the advent of antibiotics, vaccinations, and other wonder drugs that were promoted by the pharmaceutical industry in favor of natural cures. During the 1960s, after it was discovered that overexposure to sunlight could also contribute to skin cancer and premature wrinkling, a massive shift in public perception was created that sun was bad and must be avoided at all costs. Over the next 50 years, the campaign of cover up and slap on sunscreen with all their toxic ingredients would be largely responsible for a worldwide epidemic of vitamin D deficiency that has affected the health of millions and millions. Vitamin D is in a class by itself, a steroid hormone rather than a true vitamin. It is the only nutrient to be manufactured by the body in direct action to sunlight. It regulates cellular function by targeting over 2,000 genes in our bodies, about 6% of the human genome. Vitamin D is unique in that very little is obtained through a normal diet. The principal source of vitamin D is production in the skin upon exposure to the sun. In the presence of the skin-penetrating ultraviolet B rays, dehydrocholesterol, a precursor of cholesterol, is converted into cholecalciferol or pre-vitamin D. Yes, vitamin D is another one of those critical compounds that depend on cholesterol for synthesis. If you are taking a cholesterol-lowering statin drug, you are shorting yourself of the very substance that is essential for the formation of vitamin D, as well as all your sex hormones, all your adrenocortical hormones, and other substances that are absolutely essential for life. The skin's ability to manufacture vitamin D is extraordinary, provided you spend some time in strong sunlight and are at the right latitude. 15 to 30 minutes exposure when the sun is high in the sky, enough to cause a slight pinkening of the skin within 24 hours, is the equivalent of taking 15 to 20,000 international units of vitamin D in supplemental form. To get the equivalent amount of vitamin D from your food would require you to eat 30 cans of sardines, 100 to 200 glasses of milk. I don't advise it. 1 to 200 bowls of fortified cereal. I don't advise it. 500 to 1,000 egg yolks, or 4.5 pounds or 2 kilograms of wild salmon. What about the old fear of toxicity from too much vitamin D? it being fat soluble. We now know that it is not possible to overdose on vitamin D synthesized from the sun. This is because the body has inherent mechanisms to inactivate excess vitamin D. The amount of vitamin D you obtain from your diet is insignificant, and taking vitamin D in a supplement would require more than 10,000 international units every day for over 6 months before you might see any side effects. We now know that vitamin D functions at the cellular level when it enters the nucleus and regulates the expression of over 2,000 genes. This ability is unmatched by any other molecule, allowing it to improve fertility, safeguard pregnancy, reduce chronic inflammation, help weight control, protect against infectious agents, prevent strokes and dementia, bolster the immune response, boost mental cognition, help regulate heart function, and support muscle strength. All in all, not a bad day's work. For example, vitamin D receptors in the pancreas respond to activated vitamin D by stimulating insulin production. And activated vitamin D in the muscle tissue increases insulin sensitivity to ward off type 2 diabetes. Teens with poor vitamin D status are twice as likely as those with adequate levels of vitamin D to have high blood pressure and high blood sugar, and more than 4 times as likely to suffer pre-diabetic metabolic syndrome. Tragically, we know that 61% of young Americans are chronically deficient in vitamin D. Low levels of the hormone can also increase the overall risk of adverse cardio events, including sudden heart attack, heart failure, or stroke, by a whopping 60%. As well, the vitamin's benefits in stimulating cardiovascular function are now recognized as being as important as aerobic exercise. I stand before you today to state that vitamin D may, in fact, be our most underappreciated and misunderstood health secret. If there was a single nutrient that would help you ward off heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity, dementia, influenza, depression, insomnia, muscle weakness, fibromyalgia, osteomalacia, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoporosis, psoriasis, multiple sclerosis, and hypertension, what would it be?
Vitamin D.
You guessed it, vitamin D. Stop and consider the implications. A few minutes each day spent in bright sun, or taking an inexpensive vitamin D supplement. It can harness nature's powers to significantly